promise.
Yeah, I gotta keep it trendy on my soul. I'm the most selfish person that I know. Here we go, down the rabbit hole. Got a couple carrots round my neck. Self-respect, when you out of line, you put yourself in check. They don't hear me, they don't hear me though. Cycles going round and round and round like a merry-go. Stand for truth, or fall for any old scenario. That's why I keep my circle smaller than a Cheerio. Cause it's the company you keep. Stay woke, please don't get caught sleep. End up sowing what you reap. Know your worth, and don't sell cheap. The ghost is inside of me, can't take it out of me. No matter where I've been, got where I'm meant to be. I be shining perfect timing, check your watch. And I know who I am no longer lost. I got tired of walking around with a mask on, smiling but my heart singing sad songs. Yeah, I was living for myself, I was dead wrong, till I got the call, no cell phone. I got tired of walking around with a mask on, smiling but my heart singing sad.
Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Bugatti Billy Ballsack has done it again. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we got ourselves a commit today. Buckle up, put on the suits, boogity, we're going racing, boys, we're rubbing. Fired up. It's been a hell of a weekend. It's been a hell of a 48 hours, baby. Can I get a duo? It's been buck nasty, okay? And Bugatti Billy just does it again. It's a great way to kind of cover up the Rashada news because that's been an absolute mayhem over the last few days. So it's good. It feels good to land this one. Offensive tackle from Alabama, Damien George, 4-star coming out of the high school. Really excited to have this pickup here because look, you got to start with the trenches. I think we know that Bama has proven time and time again, and I think we saw what Georgia did. Georgia got some dogs in the trenches. So the more dogs we can add to these trenches, I'm all about it. I'm all about it. Guy's like 6'7", 248, I believe, 348. He's a big dude. Guy's a big dude, Damien George here. He's got his twin brother, who's still at Bama, and his dad played as well. So it's in the family blood just to be big and to run cats over. Okay, so good to see that. Let me give you his stats. 6'4", 348. That's right, 348. Dog. Okay? Big boy. Big boy coming. I watched some of his tape. I was watching one of the during the games from Auburn. Look, definitely needs some growth for sure, but he's a big boy. I mean, I saw the guys on the edge just trying to push him down, and he's just a big monster. With some guidance, I would say like maybe if you had 2 offensive line coaches helping you out, probably have some great success. So look, will he come in and be a starter right out the way? I don't know because we've got some studs coming in with Micah Mazuka from Baylor, obviously. And then our recruiting class, Caden Jones, Najee Harris, Rajat Kearney, Bryce Levitt, some big dogs there as well that are coming in. Obviously, we lost a few too. Who else we got keeping? I believe we got one more guy that we had that transferred in from offensive line that I can't I think of at the moment. But excited for the addition to the offensive side. We lost a lot of people, and look, I think the more depth we can add to this, the more. And my thing is, look, he's a 4-star coming out of high school. On3 has him as a 3-star. Now they have him ranked 43rd in offensive tackles. So obviously he's dipped down in production of what they were expecting him to be. But anytime we can pull a big guy from Alabama, obviously Bama saw something in him. They wanted him there. So to me, that's SEC talent that's coming over. So that's exciting to see. Again, a big dog that's coming over. And I think we can all agree when I say this, that the highlight of Florida football next year, more than likely, is going to be the running back room. That is going to be our bread and butter. So the more options and more big guys that we can put in front of those absolute freak of natures back there, on top of getting the best protection and best wall for our new guy, Graham Mertz, because more than likely is going to be the guy next year, I'm all in on it. Okay? The more bodies that we can work through and develop, I'm all here for it. So excited to see what we're able to do. Yeah, Duddles, so you saw 3-star. I saw 3 stars too, but on 3, and I can show you guys, I can pull it up. It had him as a 4-star coming out of high school. But I did see that as well too. But currently now he is ranked, you know how they kind of have that in transfer portal ranking. He is a 3-star currently, but he was a 4-star. So as a 2020 class, he was a 4-star prospect ranked as the number 337 prospect. So yeah, he was a 4-star coming out of high school. And again, the stars thing to me, I mentioned this before, Osiris Torrance was a 3-star. So to me, it's massive. It's a big one there for us. I know we've got an edge from Marshall that was visiting this weekend as well. So it was a pretty big weekend for Billy and the boys. Not just for 2024 recruits, 2025 recruits were there as well, but also 2 guys in the portal that were coming in. So we've got a few days left until the portal closes. We anticipated this to be hype. I think we've got 3 days, I believe. I think it's the 19th is the last day. So hopefully we can get one more before this door closes. And not necessarily offensive tackle, but just some more bodies to add to this team that we've been slowly grinding and working and building its way back. Look, we had a few guys leave. Obviously, Tarquin left. That was a big one. But for us to be able to pull the guys we've been able to pull, I'm excited about it. Let me see. Give me a second here. Let me pull the transfer portal rankings up. Like I said, he was ranked 42nd for offensive tackles. That's what I was looking at here. Let me see. There we go. All right, so yeah, we lost obviously Tarquin. That was a big one that we lost. He was ranked pretty high on offensive tackles. And we lost Yusuf, who went to Colorado. He was ranked even higher than this guy here, Damien George. So, again, 6'7", 348. Yeah, he had 89.67 according to On3, and now he's got an 86. So, definitely some drop. Again, I was watching some of his film. Did seem a little bit slow off the snap. Definitely needed some area for improvements. But he's a big body. Got to teach him how to use that weight and muscle, and there could be some success there. So, I'm all in for it. I'm excited about it. We should be fired up about it. Seeing Mertz versus Walker. You guys think we're getting Walker because of the Rashada situation? We're going to get into that too because that has been absolutely crazy. Phoenix Riser says, real quick, I got a super chat. Says $2. Says, Billy getting the big body bends. I love it. I absolutely love it. Duddles became a member. Welcome, Duddles. Appreciate you becoming a member, big dog. The 18th, my guys, when the portal closes. Okay, thanks, Lucas. I was a day late. I can't remember if it was the 18th or the 19th. Knew we were close. So we've got just a few days here. Tomorrow's the 17th, and then so Wednesday's going to be the last day. And then we're about 3 weeks out or 2 weeks out, I believe, from the last signing day for 2023. So I know we also had a 2023 recruit on this weekend that was visiting, I believe, a 3-star. Let me see here where the name went. Yeah, 3-star Marshall Edge. Okay, that was the from commit Lane Swafford. So he's a 3-star prospect, but he's also from Ponte Vedra. So that could be one that we could pull in. Again, a late little pull there for the defensive side of the ball. So excited to have this. We're going to talk about 2024 recruiting as well, too, because things are heating up, obviously, with it coming to a close in 2 weeks. So really excited. Walker not coming to UF. Yeah, look, I think we're trying to get it excited about the Walker Howard thing. I haven't heard much about Walker Howard, but at this point, guys, with what's happened with Rashada, and how this whole thing is broken down and how everybody has had their own opinion on the situation. I've seen so many articles, and it's been all over the place. It's hard to know what's really true anymore. I've seen more articles about one particular thing, but I've seen articles, countering that entire article. So it's kind of funny to watch unfold. We made national news, the Florida Gators did, twice this year. Actually, 3 times. 3 times. And none for good reason. 4 times, I think, actually. Yeah, 4 times in the past year. This obviously is this year, but the first time it was Anthony when he changed his name from AR-15. That made national news. That wasn't really negative nor bad. That was just more of a groundbreaking news for them because it had the political stance on it. And then it was Marcus Stokes and his situation. That made national news. Then it was Kitna. That made national news. And now with this and the NIL debacle, this has also made national news. So in a grand scheme of things, if you believe in the saying that all news is good news, people are starting to learn about Florida. One way or another, they didn't know about us now, or then they know about us now. Okay, so some positives there, guys. Keep our head up. I don't think we planned on getting there that way, but here we are. So excited. LFG, of course, he's a 3-star now. He had UF on his list of schools he was interested in. I love it. Yeah, look, he's a set of 4-star coming out of high school, so that's what I was looking at. Hey, guys, welcome to the stream. If you're new here, make sure you guys subscribe. We're on the way to 10,000 subs. We're like 150 away. So it means a lot if you guys subscribe. And also drop a like. Got 36 likes, so we can get to 50 likes next moment or so. That'd be awesome. I appreciate it, boys and girls. Thank you for stopping by on this wonderful Monday afternoon. Again, if you're just stopping by, we got to commit Damien George, offensive tackle, 4-star, coming out of high school from Alabama. So, again, great addition to what I feel is going to be an already stud of an offensive line. I think Roger Kearney is going to make an impact. I believe Najee Harris is going to be a Dark Knight on that offensive line. He's a grinder. He's a hustler. Obviously, we landed Micah from Baylor just the other day. He was a 3-star, I believe, but big boy. Obviously has, some college experience, which I think to me, a 3-star portal guy, it to me is a little more value than a 4-star, lower end 4-star coming out of high school. And this isn't trying to knock on anybody, but at least this kid's got some college experience. And to me, that speaks volumes. Some of you may say, well, he couldn't make it on Baylor. There's plenty of reasons why someone may have left. Damien George is one of 14 offensive linemen to leave Alabama. One of 18, I believe. Absolutely insane number to comprehend there. So do we think that all those guys just didn't want to play at Alabama? No. I mean, I think it's just some people want to change and want to get things moving. So I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Mertz plus Andy Jean, Eugene Wilson, A. Mazzell equals greatness. Yeah, look, I think it's starting to kind of figure itself out. I think if we take a second and look at the overall team here, let's just take a quick moment with this latest commit, okay, and break it down by position. Running back room, I think we can all agree on we're super excited about. Now, as we get it closer to the year, we'll probably grade each room as if what we expect it to be. We did this last year. We'll definitely do it again this year. Running back room of what I think it's going to be with Trent Webb, Montreal, and Etienne, it's going to be a solid room. I think we can all agree on that, right? So loving that. We're going to talk about Kamani too as well. So great running back room. Quarterback room, that is, I would say, look, there is some question there. I think Jack Miller is still a solid backup. I believe he will be the backup. Obviously, with Max Brown, that was a Billy guy. Could show some improvement over the spring ball. And again, we might change this grade later on. I'm a believer in Graham Mertz. I'm going to be a believer until I'm not a believer. And then we don't know what's going on with the Rashada situation. So I think the Rashada situation makes everyone feel a little more comfortable of what depth is going on, right? But again, so far so good on those things. Now, offensive line, that was a big hole. That was a big gap. But with the additions of 2023 coming in, and we believe, hey, those are some solid offensive guys. And now with the additions of the transfer portal, I feel a lot better with the offensive side of balls. I think we have 2 guys that stayed. So there is some veterans in the room as well too. So looks really solid. On the defensive side of things, right? McClellan and Big Dez made huge improvements last year. And now we've added Cameron Jackson as well. So I think we've added another one. I can't even think of who else we've added. Let me go back. I'm running out of my head's in a fog lately because of how many people we've been adding and how we've been going all over the place here with what's going on. So let me see who else we've added, because I'm pretty sure we've added more to the defensive line. I just can't think of who else we've added at the moment. I know we have for a fact, though. Caleb Banks, that's right, from Louisville, who went from a 3 to a 4-star. Now that we got him a 4-star coming into Florida. So, again, big additions there. 6'6", 225 on D-line. Cameron Jackson is 6'5", 271. Then a linebacker. Got Deuce Spurlock from Michigan. Tejada Mitchell from Ohio State. Tejada was a 4-star coming out and dropped dramatically. But again, was that 4-star? Maybe needs some other growth coming out of it. So big addition there on the linebacker, on top of, we've still got Wingo and Shamar James who are making some improvements. So excited for that. I think the linebacker room, in my opinion, probably still going to be a little weak. I would like to get some bigger plays in there, but we'll see what the guys from the 2023. Jaden Robinson, obviously, he's coming in with linebacker. We'll see what he'll be able to produce. And then the D lineman that's coming in, Will Norman, right? Cameron James, and then Kelby Collins. Absolute dogs coming on that D line. So in the trenches right now, I am beyond excited for what's going to come. I think the Kelby Collins is a guy that's going to start immediately. I think Will Norman is going to be an impact right away. And Cameron James as well. These are some big boys that are hungry and ready to fight and ready to rock and roll. So excited to see that. Then the wide receiver room, okay? Jaquavion Frazier, who I was big on last year, kind of had some great moments towards the end there. And then you've got A. Mazzell, Eugene Wilson, who's just a human joystick, right? And TJ Searcy. I forgot about TJ Searcy too as well. And A. Mazzell and Andy Jean, again, all just, in my opinion, going to be absolute studs and make an impact right away. So things are starting to look up. Okay, got Sharif Denson on the cornerback side of things. Jordan Castle playing safety. They had him listed as a linebacker, I believe, during the Under Armour game just because of his size and speed. So things are starting to come around. If we can land maybe a few more out of that transfer portal, I think we should all be excited and ready to rock and roll for this next season. I did an way too early prediction of 10-2, and everyone thought I was crazy. And I'm probably a little crazy, definitely more fanatic thought process on that. But something like this gets me fired up and gets me excited when we start getting more and more depth. I would love to see a few more guys. I really would. Lawrence, what's going on, man? Has a point. Thank you, man. Muscles Mascara. Hey, how are you doing? Tony Macon, how we doing? Mr. Nobody. How we doing? Charles, how we doing, guys? We brought in a bunch of D-line recruits. Sure did. Yes, TJ Searcy. Pearsall is back too. That's a great point. I forgot about Pearsall. That is huge. Tight end is big, question mark. Yeah, it's a big question mark. So Arlos Birdingham was our big tight end that we got last year. He didn't play. We didn't see him much this year, but he was a big tight end pick. But yes, I would love to land another big tight end this year. I think if you go look at the teams that have had great success over the last years, a big tight end or big couple tight ends, us included with Kyle Trask, has been a key success to the format. Look at Georgia this year with Brock Bowers, and that gets only a sophomore. So I would love to land a few big ones. It also helps with the line and blocking. So those are going to be some big components. But yes, Ricky Pearsall, forgot. Pretty Ricky's back, boys. So the wide receiver core is looking healthier than ever. Guys, we should be fired up to what we're putting together. If we believe in Billy's coaching ability, if we believe in what he's able to do, which as of now, me, myself, is a huge believer. Super excited what I think he's able to do. Yes, were there some frustrating moments last year? Were there some questionable calls? Were there some questionable things? Yes. Will there be questionable calls this year? Yes. Will there be questionable things that he does that makes us scratch our heads? Yes. Okay. Will there be time management issues? Yes. Will there be discipline issues? Yes. Now, how we determine success is how we're able to minimize that, right? So let's say last year we saw out of 100 times, or just out of all the games, there was 100 mistakes that we can count on a hand, right? 100 mistakes we saw happen. We cut that down to 75, 50, right? 50, 75. I'll count that as a W. We're seeing progression, especially with, look, we're in a sense a whole new revamp, a whole new team, a whole new flip. Thankfully, most of these guys are all coming in early, so they're all going to be here for, spring ball and be able to get going early. I think only 3 or 4 guys are going to be coming in from the 2023 class during the summer. So all that is going to be huge and massive and allowing us to be successful next year. So super excited for what that's going to be. Yeah, 10-2. You guys know you guys give me crap for it again. It was a big prediction there. Yeah, Scooby Williams, another big one. Yes, he was hurt. Allers Birmingham was hurt. Yep. Merckx is the next Trask. Look, I don't hate the prediction. Duddle's saying 5 and 7. I don't think so. Yes, Chris Livingston, who was committed last class, who's finally going to be on campus. He'll be our tight end that we are needing. Forgot about Livingston as well. Look, we got guys kind of coming in that they're not the big flashy, splashy name like a Kermani, right, that everybody's talking about right now, and sometimes we kind of forget what's going on. So not Sir Dexter's you don't trust his coaching. You don't trust his coaching. I think if you're a fan, you have the right to feel kind of a certain way because of what we saw last year. I think Billy was fighting a lot more than what we realized, and I think the NIL and what's happening with his Jaden Rashada tells you that there's more involved with the situation that we can see to the blind eye, right? And what's happening with internally that Billy doesn't have a lot of control over. Now, again, everything that happens on the field he has control over, but due to the fact of how we saw this mass exodus over the last year, tells me that people were not as bought in as we may have thought or we may have felt during the season. And I think that speaks volumes to what happened at Vandy, right? And what happened in some of these games where they weren't bought into the Billy way. The way Anthony Richardson left, I just feel like there was a lot of disconnect, right, with how that was. Now, I could be wrong. I could get slapped in the face this year, but I really believe that there was a lot more going on. I think Billy and co did a good job of keeping most of it hush-hush in the sense of, look, with the dismissal of Brenton Cox last year, right, DeJuan Black, I think there was a lot more cancers in this locker room than we as Gator fans want to believe and understand that, look, he is building something. It's going to take time. What we have been wanting and craving is happening, but it's going to take time. So I don't want to get on a press box or whatever and start rambling. So Rob sees the O-line looks flames. It sure does. It sure does, boys and girls. Super excited for the O-line. 2024. Again, I'm ready for February 1st. I'm excited to see if anything will happen February 1st, but I am ready to go on to 2024 as we've had a slew of guys on, several blue chips that were there this weekend. Again, I know it's early, but the earlier the better. The sooner that we can get these guys on board, the better, in my opinion. And did we have guys there this early last year? Probably, but at this type of level, I don't think so. I don't think we were. I mean, I see Lane Kiffin out here on a fishing trip, and old Billy Boy's out here grinding his little tail away. I seen a lot of people during the season. We should have got Lane Kiffin. If you'd have saw the picture of Lane Kiffin this Saturday or Sunday of him fishing, catching kingfish, we all would have burnt Gainesville to the ground. Okay, I haven't seen one photo of Billy even enjoying himself. I don't think the guy's taking breaks since he got here. Okay, so we should be appreciating the work that the man is doing. But Juwan Johnson, 4-star athlete, he's got Colorado on his list, but he was he's preparing to visit Florida for the first time. So excited to see how we can hopefully pull him off again. He'll be a big addition. He released his Final Four, and then hours later he added LSU, Georgia, and Colorado. So we'll see if we can pull that off. 2024 defensive lineman Kendall Jackson. He's returning back to UF. He's already visited a few times. So we'll see how that works out. Obviously, I believe he's a 3-star from what I was looking at here. I had him pulled up here just a minute ago. Give me 1 second. Yeah, Kendall Jackson. He's from Gainesville. He goes to Buchholz. That's what I thought. So he's a 3-star defensive lineman. He's ranked 42nd. They've got him 99.3% on 3. So I don't even think it's going to be an issue, especially homegrown boy. More than likely, he goes that way. So that'll be a great addition to what already is looking to be a great class for 2024. So really excited about that. Then 4-star running back Anthony Carey. I think he's in like the 10th running back in the country is what I have pulled up here. Right now, they've got Georgia predicted at 34%, then Florida at 21%. But look, we'd love to see us be able to pull that off. So on 3 consistent hasn't ranked 10th. On 3 just hasn't ranked as the 23rd running back. So however you want to look at it. But again, 4-star running back. I don't think he'll be the number one guy. I'm thinking Stacey Cage is probably our number one target right now for running back. But we definitely need, with only getting Trayon Webb this past class and not landing another one, definitely need to try to pull 2 more for 2024 to fill up that void. That I think we're not gonna notice it because I think ETN having the success he did his freshman year allowed us to have a gap year in a sense of missing out on 2 running backs. But going to be someone that we need to pull for sure this coming season. And then Jake Garna, he's an offensive lineman, interior offensive lineman. I've seen our boy DJ Lagway tweeting his fingers off at this man. Right now we're leading the way over NC State and Florida State. 3-star offensive lineman from Ponte Vedra. So that makes me feel good. Obviously, we had Marcus Stokes, who was a Ponte Vedra guy. I think that should, to me, feel pretty good. We should feel pretty confident about pulling this one in. Again, we lead the way currently, especially having him on campus this past weekend. Would love to land him as soon as possible, if I got to be honest. And we've already had 2025 guys in there this weekend too, which is early. But I remember last year this time we were talking about 2024, and I think DJ Lagway was on the list. And it's like, why are we even talking about that? But look, these starting early is important, right? So I know it seems crazy at the time, but it's definitely something that's going to hopefully pay off in the long run. DJ Pickett is the number 2 safety in the country right now for 2025, and we lead the way. So I think this is, look, we keep talking. I thought we brought Billy on for recruiting. Well, this is the part that we brought him on for, right? It's going out and it's starting to build a foundation. It's going to take time. If he's already thinking that far in ahead, that just kind of show you where Billy's mindset is. Like, look, I understand I'm not going to, these next few years isn't where it's going to be. It's going to be, it's going to take time to kind of build up this layer here. Yeah, I would love for Stacey Gage, Lucas. I totally agree. Gage. Yeah, that's a big one for us, I believe. I mean, I know Oklahoma has him right now. That's kind of where he's being crystal ball to. But I also know that he tweeted at DJ and said, "Wherever you go, babe, where I'm going." So we've got him. I think he went like a top 8 or something like that recently. But I imagine he'll be one of those kids that takes a long time. Yes, Parker. Yes, Mr. Parker. I forgot about Parker. Parker Lease, I believe, the 3-star quarterback from IMG that we also have in that room. Again, I think we sleep on these kids and we forget about it because they don't have the flashy name or the flashy stars. But still, not a horrible addition there. I know walk-ons are happening tomorrow, I believe, for Florida as well. So, Gage is following DJ. I hope so, man. That would be godly, dude. That would be huge. That would be huge. The 2024 class looks good right now. I am beyond excited for the 2024 class. I want things to start coming through and start flowing through. I think having DJ at the helm, absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. Incredible. We should be fired up for that. Boys and girls, make sure you guys like, subscribe. Over 300 in the chat. Welcome to the stream. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me on this Monday afternoon. We've got a few more things to go over. We're going to talk about the Jaguars this past Saturday, which was absolutely a blast. We went down there, had some fun, made some cool content, met some great people, met some great fans. Going to go over to Jaden Rashada and talk about that. Give you my opinion on it because it's kind of come to a close, I feel like, to a certain extent. And then go over Kermani McClain a little bit. I've got a video I got one I'm working on that's going to come out probably today. So I don't want to give away too much on that. But let's go. I'll wait. I'll save the Jags. Let's talk about Jaden Rashada. With Kermani McClain, though, really quick before I go into Jaden Rashada, I think it's hilarious. It really is. It's an absolute blast to watch and watch it unfold. It's been fun. I think we're frustrated, but you got to respect the kid for taking full advantage of his opportunity. And I think also too, look, these kids are trying to figure it out, man. They're making a big decision, so I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I think it's fun. It's a good time. I mean, this is their opportunity. But look, you put all that out there. You talk a lot of smack. They better make sure they show up. So we'll see. So Jaden Rashada, this has been a mess, boys. This has been a mess. I don't even know where to start, to be honest with you. We've talked about it a handful of times. I don't think anybody knows what's going on anymore. The biggest thing that I keep saying is because Friday obviously was like the last day that he could have enrolled, but then I keep seeing a lot of articles saying that Florida can make an exception and allow him to come in. So I think we felt that there was a timeline on it, but I don't think there really is a timeline on it. I feel like February 1st is going to be the final date where he's got to make sure he's either committed or not committed, or is he going to sit out a year? Basically, he's just going to stay signed to Florida if we don't release him, and he's just going to forego his freshman year and be a redshirt his freshman year and kind of just do his own thing. That would seem a bit crazy to me, but I don't know because I don't know how this is headed right now. I mean, things have gone completely silent from all sides of the spectrum, but this thing lands on Fox News. So this is the article that I want to go over really quick because this one to me is interesting because Fox News is putting it out there. But again, I've read other articles closer to home that dispute this article. I spoke with guys personally. Nothing is matching up anymore. So what's true and not true, I honestly don't feel like anybody knows. I think that what the true story really is may never really come out. Is it a messy one? Is it all based on financial? I think we can agree that yes, it is a financial situation that's going on. Is it I guaranteed this and now I can't pay that? I don't know. Here's the issue. The issue is if we go out there and we promise anything, this is always going to be looming over our heads. And that's what I'm nervous about because if it isn't that, but we're not speaking up to defend it to protect either party, that's an issue in itself. Here's what Fox News wrote, right? Which concerns me. Now, there is some positive I'm going to back it up with, but here's what concerns me, okay? Eddie Rojas, who obviously was, kind of head of the collective, says, this was a quote from him that Fox News wrote. I would venture to say that Gator Collective is paying more guaranteed money than any group in the country. Eddie Rojas, a former Gator baseball player and head of the Gator Collective, said in April, when I write a contract, I want to make sure that we actually can have the money in our account. Obviously, they put that in there to then railroad him later on. It doesn't appear that Rojas group did have the money as they reneged on the deal with Rashada. The Athletic states that the deal has presumptive support from one of the Gator Collective top boosters, Hugh Hathcock, who donated almost $13 million. But on December 7th, which is the day we landed DJ Lagway, could that have any correlation at all? Rashada received a letter from Rojas wishing to terminate their deal. While it's unclear exact reasons why that happened, the Gators football program was caught by surprise as they're not allowed to know specific details of NIL deals with players. So that part is true that yes, they haven't you're not allowed to have that conversation. I remember I would talk with Jim from the collective and say, hey, can we do this? Or, hey, can you speak with someone about me going to Friday Night Lights? And she's like, we are not allowed to have any correlation with the school in that sense because it's tampering with recruiting. I've talked with Papa Stokes multiple times. He's like, yeah, we never had any conversations about money. Okay, so what's happening? What's actually true? What's going on? Because I believe that's where it's frustrating too, is we keep holding Billy to the flame. But if there is a fact where like the collective is getting involved and Hugh Hathcock and the Gator Guard are getting involved, which technically, legally, right, Billy is not allowed to be involved whatsoever. So now, can we believe that too? I don't know. But can we hold him to that accountability of like, hey, you're dropping the ball, Billy, when in reality he's not allowed to even be having that conversation? That part I don't know either. But I think a big point here saying that in December 7th, this is the only place that I saw this from Fox News. But again, these are credible, sources. Fox News, these guys are supposed to be putting out here reliable stories. It's just interesting to see something like that be said, because I haven't heard that from close parties that are close to in-house stuff with the Gators. I was hearing more it was a discrepancy on how the contract was written. That was another thing that came out. I've also seen and read from another article saying that it was never actually $13 million. It was $1.3 million. Because if you think about it, $13 million, I mean, it's an insane figure. How we're even having the conversation and not even like taking a step back and saying, are we sure that we're paying this kid $13 million? Right? Is that realistic? Is that actually what we're paying this young man? When Nico Lamala or whatever his name is from Tennessee was a big deal when he got $8 million. And I want to say Nico is pretty high ranked, not higher than Rashada. So what's Arch getting? How are they keeping this thing under hush? But the Gators is getting completely blown out of proportion that it's $13 million. It's really messy. And I'm not saying that anybody's wrong or right, but it just seems very messy. Yeah, so look, Jacob says, look, I agree, or he's kind of confirming. Nobody offered Rashada $13 million. Hathcock put in $13 million for future payments. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, that article says like that Hathcock put in 13, like he donated $13 million, right? Now, how that turned up to, where is that going? I don't know. Georgia gave Big Baby $3 million. I wouldn't be surprised. Homeboy was throwing cheddar up during the Under Armour game. So, look, it's crazy to me. I don't know anymore. But I think there is something. If that part is true about him sending the letter on the December 7th when we landed DJ Lagway, again, is there any correlation? I don't know. We will see. But for things to kind of go hush hush, I love the fact that we land this kid today because Billy hasn't stopped moving. He's still grinding. Nick says 13 million is always a bullshit number. I agree. It looks good for clicks. And that's kind of where I'm at, is it's no way it's 13 million by any stretch. Sports, can you drop the Discord link? Yeah, you can, if you're a member, it's on the member page. That's where the Discord link is, boss. Edgar Thompson is the one spreading around the 13 million number. Yeah, that's my problem. There's just a lot of people that are just, it feels like the number it's just too many people spreading the number around, making drama. It feels like there's a lot of people trying to bury Florida in this sense. And I think maybe that's why the Gators, how I look at it, at some point, I feel like the Gator Nation and Billy have to speak up, have to say something and say, hey, look, I don't know what all this nonsense is going on, but none of that is true. But the part is they can't speak up on it because technically they're not allowed to have any type of association with that. So the only people that can speak up would be the collective or the Gator Guard, which they haven't spoken up either, which is very frustrating. And I did see the other day where Jen said that the removal of Eddie Rojas is happening because, again, he was head of it. Obviously, we had that whole breakdown with Miami. So it is in the works to reconstructing how the collective is being ran and who is running it, which is positive news. But, I mean, this is the last thing the Gator Collective in Florida needed to have happen. But, yeah, it's 13 over 4 years. Even if it's 13 over 4 years, that's still an insane amount of number. That's an insane amount of money for an unproven kid. That's crazy. You know what I mean? I think we got to think it's a lot. Roaz and Heitner screwed us. They were involved. So Roaz, obviously, it was ahead of the collective. Heitner was as a lawyer that apparently wrote up the contract. So, again, a lot of, back and forth. The Discord link expired. Okay, I'll make sure to update that. Sorry, boys. But yeah, make sure you guys like. We're almost at 100 likes. I appreciate it, boys and girls, for coming over and hanging out. But that's my thought on the Rashada update. At this point, man, like I saw a what was this? Late Josh Pate, where he spoke about, and again, his point was valid in a sense of saying, hey, if somebody paints your house, right, they do a good job or whatever. This is an analogy that he used. And they come over and say, hey, I'm actually going to charge you this much or charge you whatever and change everything, you'd be upset too. So the point of it is saying, like, Rashada has a point to be upset, even though, because some people were like, oh, like, and we kind of said that, like, hey, he should just want to play. Sure, but if you're offered something and you show up and you're not getting that, you're going to be upset. You're going to be frustrated. And I was like, I totally get that. I understand where that's coming from, but how long do you drag it out? Right? Where do we go? How long? I mean, you're going to just keep shopping around for a dollar amount? I mean, I think that's kind of where I'm at with it. It's like, if it went from 13 million, let's say the number is to 10 million, we're really going to bust heads over. But again, you got to take care of yourself. I think that's the crazy part. But I guess I can't fathom my head around the fact of giving a young man $13 million who may or may not pan out. When we've got kids that are proven that have played for a while that I know for a fact probably aren't getting even close to that. So what does that do for a locker room? Think about that. For the entire 2023 class, they all know what they got paid or offered or whatever it may be. And he is the highest, recruit in the class. So I think they would expect to be less than him. But what about the second guy? What if the second guy got $1 million? And he looks, he's like, well, Jaden's not 13 times better than me. Right? Then that conversation starts. It's not to say they're not having that conversation, but I don't know how that's going to do. I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. But yeah, how long do you drag it out? I would know. Look, I wouldn't be willing to leave money on the table. Now, that's where I think I agree with the Rashada situation. But at what point does it come about playing football and playing money? I think we've seen this. And even in the NFL, you got guys that will sit out, like a Joey Bosa. Look how that played out for him on Saturday night. The guy's a prima donna. That's a prime example. Real quick here. Joey Bosa, I don't know if you guys remember this, but when he entered into the league, he sat out. The guy's like, I'm not playing. I'm worth more than you guys want to give me. I don't know if you guys remember this, but he was a big drama queen. And he ended up just sitting out, and finally they folded and gave him more money. Now, not to mention, Joey Bosa has been a great addition to that D-line on the Chargers. Couldn't tell you. Couldn't disagree with you anymore. But if you don't think that Joey Bosa did not cause them, but didn't have an impact on that game negatively for the Chargers on Saturday night, you're crazy. His attitude, his prima donna mindset, him thinking that he's better than everybody, caused penalties, unnecessary penalties for the Chargers, allowing the Jaguars to continue to gain momentum. That's what happened when you allow something like that to happen. So we'll see. We'll see. Again, I don't know Rashada personally. I'm not going to sit here and talk about the kid negatively. But and again, we don't know the full situation either. We talked about this last time. It's just a lot. It's a very messy situation. We're not quite sure about it. So we'll see. Anyways, into the Gator stuff there. Let's go to It Was Always the Jags. Huh? Not sure how many of you guys are in here about are Jag fans, but I know we got a few of you. I know some of you don't care and we'll leave. And I appreciate you guys for hanging out talking Gator stuff. But incredible game Saturday night. My butt was in my throat watching that game. It was a fun one to say the least. It was a thriller. The third greatest comeback in NFL or playoff history, one of the two. I'm not quite sure, but all in all, I mean, I think going into Kansas City, having that type of tear and comeback is huge for the Jags and huge for playoff momentum. Now you got to go into Kansas City. I know you're going against one of the greats and Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey, but I mean, you come back against a very good, healthy team in the Chargers. Now, granted, you're at home, but I think Jaguars should be excited and fired up because they're coming. They're coming. All you got to do is play the game, baby. I think T-Law has found some confidence, and most importantly, Trevor Lawrence is undefeated on Saturdays, and he's getting another game on Saturday. It's crazy to think like that, but it's fun to consider because I think he's like 36-0 now, and it was a big thing this weekend, and now it rolls over into next weekend, 4:30 on a Saturday. The streak it's going to have a thought. I mean, it's going to be in Patrick Mahomes' mind. This guy doesn't lose on Saturday. Shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's got to be intimidating to a certain extent. So I think it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be exciting. I think the defense played exceptionally well. I know they gave up 27 points, and you're like, well, how'd they play well? Well, yeah, they turned the ball over 5 times in the first half, basically in their own territory. You can't hold that against the defense. I think the defense did a great job of only allowing them to score 27. Could have been worse. Could have been way worse. And then they held him to 2 field goal attempts, or 2 or 3, and I think he made 2 of the 3 because he missed one of them. Which, think about going back now, that was the game. Dougie P going for it in 2 to, hey, if we're gonna kick a field goal, we're gonna win it and not tie it. Balls, right? I think the way that Doug Peterson has been managing that entire team all year, incredible. And I want to speak something too, because I think Sean Codd has taken a lot of crap since taking over the team on where he spent his money, on who he's hired. And I don't know much about Sean Codd, but I think we've always questioned kind of like where his loyalty lies, if he's going to move the team or if he's bought in 100%, or doesn't really know what he's doing. He's just a guy with a lot of money. I think he's been a guy trying to figure it out, trying to play the system. When he spent all that money on Christian Kirk, I know myself included, and a lot of people were like, what? Kind of scratching their head. Seems to be paying off. Things seem to be moving in the right direction. Now they seem to be a favorite in the DeAndre Hopkins lottery. That would be huge, right? So things are really kind of starting to tick in the right direction. I think the Doug Peterson hire was a massive one, was a big one. Obviously, the Urban one was a flop, but I kind of got where he was on that. I don't think it was an intentional flop, and I think he made a good decision with getting rid of him as quick as he did. So I think the credit goes to Dougie P, and Codd, I think, right now. I mean, I think it's starting to click. Things are starting to move in the right direction. What I'm excited about, too, because I think there was a time where we all felt that, look, if Trevor doesn't get this, if he feel like this, there's no way this program ever gets moving. This gets up off the ground. How long does Trevor stay? Does he start asking to leave? Right? But now I think, Calvin Ridley next year. Forgot about that. Calvin Ridley. So to think that, with all these guys that are coming in and how it's moving, look, T-Law he's going to feel like the king now. He's going to feel like, hey, this is my town. And so that's just going to be even better for building around him. And look, I think for the NFL, he is part of that new face of quarterbacks, right? The old face was the Toms, the Aarons, the Tony Romos, Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees, right? Peyton Manning. That was the face, right? You always wanted to see one of those quarterbacks in the playoffs. You had to. It was a must. Or you felt like it was a complete flop. Trevor's, I feel like it's going to be one of those faces where it's like, look, he's got to be a part of it, right? Could Justin Herbert be the next Phillip Rivers, where it's like, yeah, they're always just right there, but can't necessarily get it done in the big games? I think Joey B is going to give us that next Tommy type where it's just going to be good. Or Mahomes. It's between him and Mahomes. Mahomes could be, I think Joey, you could give Joey kind of the Peyton Manning, but I think he has a potential to win more than Peyton. But I think for skill-wise and just composure, you can kind of put him in that camp of like, hey, what face is he replacing? You know what I mean? As for Trevor, what face does he take over? Could be a Drew Brees type where he kind of win ones for the team. Like he kind of put New Orleans on his back when they needed him most, and was forever the king of New Orleans, and kind of just was always good for his remainder of his career. And but that was about it. That could be Trevor. I don't know. But I think it's going to be exciting to see how it plays out for the Jags in the next week. I know I'm fired up for it. My heart rate was up like 120 the whole game. So I was pumped. Fired up. How about the Cowboys? I'm going for the Bucs tonight, boys. You got to keep it Florida grown. So the unsung hero for Jacksonville has been Walker Little. The backup left tackle held his own against Khalil Mack and Bosa all game. Yes, he did. They were sleeping on that kid. I did see where he held his own and did a great job on that. Just got a new subscriber. I appreciate you guys for subscribing. We're on the way to 10,000 subs, so it means a lot if you did. And also drop a like. Let's get there, boys. All right. Well, boys and girls, great show. Great Monday show here to kind of wrap it up and to get excited about a commit. Hopefully we can get a few more before the week is over. Obviously, the portal closes in 2 days. We've got 2 weeks, the signing date. Kermani McClain was supposed to commit yesterday. I have a theory. And you're going to have to watch the video that I dropped later on today to find out. I'm putting together hey, let them cook. All right. When was the last time all Florida NFL teams were in the playoffs? God, never maybe. I think this has got to be the first time, right? I mean, Dolphins are out now, but God forbid the Dolphins had anybody but a third grader quarterback, probably would have won that game yesterday. 2007. Thanks. Muddy's a walking just encyclopedia. Like, unbelievable. He was talking shit, by the way. Muddy DM'd me on Instagram talking shit. And he ate his words quick. He sure did. He knows that he did. Oh, man. How are you feeling, though? Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down emoji. Or maybe a fist bump. So we'll give it 1, 2, 3. So thumbs up if you're feeling really, really good about what Florida's been able to do in the portal thus far now, that we've kind of seen it kind of come to an end. Fist bump if you're like, I'm cool with it, but I would like to see maybe 1 or 2 more. Thumbs down if you're just completely pleased or displeased. In the comments. Let me see what you guys are feeling. Fat Boy says, go Bucks. Get 300 likes. I would love that. We're at 119. I appreciate you guys getting likes. Andrew says, I could care less about NFL. College is 100 times better. I agree. But I'm a sports junkie, so I love it all. Yeah, Muddy had no faith. Muddy said, I appreciate it, Muddy. Thank you. Chris Smith got a thumbs up. Okay. Loving it. There's one person. JR, middle. I'm liking it. If we get a thumbs down, that'd be kind of cool. Just because we get all 3. Andrew Gator fan got a thumbs up. There we go. Momentum's moving back. Joe G. Okay. We're feeling good again. Dominic types thumbs up. You got an emoji, Dom? Even Steve got a thumbs. Brandon Curry, thumbs up. I think they got a lot of needs and love. Pierce is coming back. It's huge. Love it. Cisco's, okay, middle. I like that too. Fat Boy, thumbs up. Okay, look, our mindset's getting better. Look at this. Florida fans we're starting to turn around. Maybe, Hurricane fear. Okay, Lewis, that's fine. Respectable. Faze, a little this. I'll take it. Chris up, little fist bump. All right. Andrew Gator fan feeling himself. Little sunglass emoji. Okay. Muddy, you were not the only one talking shit. I can assure you. Mo Lewis, 3 thumbs up. All right, good. I'm loving it. I love hearing that. LFGM always keeps it 100. Giving us a fist bump. I love that too. I love it. So, Duddles, his fingers crossed. I love it. Real quick, and then we'll go. Adam Cage says, if you were the new University of Florida president walking into the Rashada/NIL situation, how would you handle it? Would you clean house in the ADUAA or let things keep going the way they are? Look, I think there's a lot to unpack there. It's a loaded question, but I like it. I love it a lot. If I'm the new president coming in, I think who I am as a president before that matters. So how much credibility do I have? What have I been able to accomplish at other schools matters. So if I have a great background, a great track record of great success, then yes, I think I come in right away and I clean. If I don't like what I'm seeing, I clean house right away, because you know that you're coming in. I'm that guy. I'm him. If you're new kind of to the program, younger guy, not much of a track record to back yourself on, you might burn a lot of bridges and kind of find yourself all alone on an island pretty quickly if you go and start cutting some necks because you feel it's the right way. Even though it may be the right way, you got to play the political game. So, again, loaded question, but I think there's a lot more to unpack than just, it's not a black and white situation like we would all like to think that it is. And I think that's why these situations go on as long as they do and how they kind of unfold the way they do, because it isn't as black as white as we would like it to be, unfortunately. So, great question, though. Joji, that drunk drag trivia video. Yeah, I posted a video of drunk Dragvar fans getting buck wild and having a good time, so you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. Pray for Linky. Yes, pray for old Lincoln, man, for Andrew Apple, baby. Appreciate it, but thanks for putting that there, man. Jeff Heiner just got a transfer alignment from Bama. Yes, we did. Well, boys and girls, ladies and gents, as always, I appreciate you guys stopping by, showing some love in the chat. We had almost like 400 people in here at one point, which is great on a Monday afternoon. Bumping. Love that, right? Gotta love it. Gotta have a good time. Salt Lake in August, be there. Love it. Make sure you guys show up, drop a like, subscribe if you're new, if you like the content. We always love getting your guys' feedback, so let me know down in the comments after the live chat, what you love, what you hate about it, what you want to hear more about. We want to get better. We want to continue to grow this channel and keep growing the family. So the more we know, the more we can get better. So thank you guys as always. Love you. Appreciate you. You guys rock. You guys have a good one. If anything happens later on today, you know where we'll be. We'll be right back here hanging out with you guys. I'll see you.
Can't let go, watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that